wande jang nga jang weesuwul man ngay bindalal sa bopp man ngay. Good evening, viewers. It's Monday again, and welcome to another episode of the Education Forum with me, your host, Louis Mendy. The topic on discussion tonight is study skills. And with me in the studio are veteran teachers or educationists who will be talking to us on this topic. On my immediate left, I have Omar Ndour. Omar Ndour is the coordinator of the Gambia Association of Teachers of English, otherwise called GATE. On my immediate right, I have Dr. Burama Jame. He's the director of curriculum, Ministry of Basic and Secondary Education. And on my far right, I have Mrs. Harriet Lau, another veteran educationist. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Thank you. And just to start with Dr. Burama, what's your own understanding of the concept of study skills?
Thank you very much, Louis, for that question. And good viewers. It's a very challenging question, but my own understanding of study skills, there are two key words there, study and skills. Skills, from my understanding, is ability to do something. And study is an act or a process of learning something. Then you might ask further, what is learning? From one author, Mr. Hobart, who gave a very down-to-earth definition of learning. I'm sure if you ask the psychologists, they will tell you it's about the brain and stuff like that. But the down-to-earth, explanation or meaning, which I believe, of learning is understanding new things and getting better ways of doing things. So, in that context, studies means is the ability to be able to engage in activities or things that enables a person to understand or to be understanding new things that he or she did not know before, an ability to do things in a better way. You used to do it this way, but now you can be able to do in a better way. So the skill for people to be able to engage in those activities is what we call, what my understanding is called of study skills. This is different from instruction. You know, we have to make a distinction between studies and instruction. Okay. Study is very broad. Researchers are saying there are studies, but when you look at the school system, we have teachers teaching or providing instruction to the students. Okay. But we have time also when children are engaged in their own studies. Okay. So children actually need to have those skills to be able to engage themselves in things, activities. It can be reading, it can be anything. Once they are, the activity is enabling them to understand new things and be able to do things better, then they are engaged in studies. Okay, thank you.
Mrs. Harriet now, what's your own understanding of the same concept of study skills?
Well, the idea of studies, thinking about my time when I was a teacher, and now what is going on, there are two different things. During that time, after school, there used to be quite a lot of activities like sports, Girl Guides, scouting, Red Cross, music, reading, and remedial work. Only time we go into the classroom is when we are preparing the children for exams. So, but now you find that during study time, there are quite a lot of children who are forced to be in classrooms, and sometimes new ideas are brought into them. Instead of trying to consolidate some of the things that these children find difficult, well, you can see that there are differences because now there are more distractions like television, all sorts of things are happening. But nevertheless, it should be a time when children really improve or reinforce some of the things that they are being taught during the day. It should not be like a class. It should be something that the children enjoy. Our own time, we were not paid for studies. But these days, parents pay for studies. It's not a wrong idea, but I think some who cannot afford it should be helped also.
Okay. Okay, thank you. Omar?
Thank you very much. My understanding of study skills, let's take the two concepts, or the two words, as Dr. Jami has alluded to. What is studies? For me, I think studies is just about going in search of knowledge. That's the learning process, but also reinforcing what has been learned. So you have these two elements, okay. Going inside to find new knowledge, and then going back to reinforce what has been learned. The skills are just the application, the manifestations. What do you do to be able to reinforce? What do you do to be able to search for new knowledge? Those are the skills you apply, and they are various and many, and I think we will come back to that.
Okay, Mrs. Now, reflecting on your experience as a veteran teacher and a parent, how did you deal with the issue of teaching at school and helping your children after school hours or at home?
After school hours, I think there's a lot of things that we can do for parents. Most of our parents go to work from 8 o'clock right on to 6 o'clock, and their children are left without supervision. That's why when they are in school, after school, they should be taken care of. Parents find it very difficult now to supervise their children during this time of the day, in the evening. But when they are in school, they are safe, and parents will be able to continue the work they are doing. During our time, parents were not working. Most of them were at home. They were able to look after their children. But at the present day, parents are so occupied, even if they are not in offices, they are selling, they are in business, they are in all sorts of things. That is one of the reasons why I feel very strongly that studies are important, provided we do things that the children will enjoy.
But during your time, how do you help your children after school hours in their homes?
In the homes,
in your home, yeah.
In the homes, after school, during my time, we used to visit parents and see what is happening. Because our own time, education was quite different. Apart from the book learning, we were able to look after the children. So that you visit their homes, see what problems they have, what can you do to help them to get on with their work, whether they have any problems or not, and that makes it easy. I am now suggesting that these days parents don't have time to visit their children at school. I am recommending that parents should go to schools and visit them occasionally to see what their children are doing.
Mr. Omandur, what do you think is or should constitute the rationale for organized study classes after school hours? In other words, how do you think study class should be organized in schools?
Well, first of all, let us demystify the concept that people have about studies or study classes. I think we need to really understand why studies are needed. What we have now is classes are organized, and a teacher in the class and would teach a subject matter. As Doctor has said, that is instruction. That is not studies. And if we go by the ideal, if a curriculum is designed